Alrighty, I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope everyone's having a fun day. Colin, Mando, Rapid, Nighthawk, Tristan, Edmund, Robert, Luke. No creativity. One Faded Gamer, Man, Space Frog, Commander Brick, Super Delta, Count Stud. Everybody, welcome to the stream. I don't watch the NHL draft. I watch the first few picks, and I'm good. Like, I don't know. For me, drafts, they're not exciting. I saw Carey Price forgot the Habs player's name, and talk about that later. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're playing a game called Only Up. I don't know how long we'll do this, maybe an hour or two. The premise of this game is very simple to explain. You just gotta climb. You just gotta climb and climb and climb and climb. Is that a voice changer or your real... Does my voice sound weird? I don't... I mean, I do talk with a bit of a... what my wife calls my YouTube voice, but no, it's pretty much normal. 3D getting over it? Yes. Yeah. So we did about a 2.5 hour stream on my gaming channel, which we don't really use very much anymore. But it's called X2. We got, I think, about 2/3 of the way up, and then we fell and we went all the way to the bottom. I put the game down. I seriously wondered whether I would ever touch it again, but it's fun. Yeah, as I said, the goal, simply to climb up. We'll do this for maybe an hour or two. Once everyone gets in here, we'll start doing some actual Q&A questions. Donations, certainly not at all required, but definitely appreciated. If you donate, I will obviously, for sure, get to your question. So, who would win, 2 Super Star Destroyers or a Supremacy? I feel like I did that video before. My theory, whenever it's 2 big ships versus 1 big ship, even when there is a size discrepancy, I give 2. Especially when it comes to the Supremacy, you know, that thing is meant to fire at enemies right in front of it if you can get around. Yeah. Do you love men and do you support the CCP? Where you got some really high quality comments in here. My opinion on the name of the music the Cantina band plays. You mean jizz music? Hey, it is. They're making a good living. I enjoy it. Please play more Empire at War on X2. You know what? I think that is going to happen at some point. Regarding another short animation, yeah, I've wanted to make a second one. I actually right now have the budget to make a second one. The main thing is E.C. Henry, who is the animator, obviously, who helped me with the first. Well, he did most of the first one. He's busy with his own projects right now. He just did a fundraiser for a pretty cool one that I covered on. I think I did a video on this channel and on my Clips channel. So yeah, he's working on. He's also got a Star Trek one he's been doing. So oh shit. Okay, well, not a great start. So the man is busy. Will Charlie ever be forced to play Fallen Order? So for those who don't know, Charlie runs a couple of my channels with me, including a Star Wars gaming channel, and he's never gotten around to playing Fallen Order, which is, kind of a big thing considering there's only 1 or 2 video games a year. No, I don't mean Moist Critical.
You can always repeat.
Oh, I'm glad you like the Vite Ramen. I saw somebody ask what sauce goes best. So I talked about it on one of my videos. I got a big box. That was my Vite Ramen box. It's like all empty. But I always recommend you add peanut butter to it, to the Massaman curry. ISD retrofitted as a carrier. I mean, sure. There was the I think the best example of that in Legends would be the Galactic class. I mean, unless you're going to count the like the Venator. The Galactic class, which came out like 20 years after the ISD, was essentially like an ISD shaped vessel with a very large hangar bay. We've never actually seen it pictured. I actually saw, funny story. Let me change my camera.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right
So there we go.
path.
I was sent from somebody who was going. The Essential Guide to Warfare was apparently going to have a supplement all about New Republic carriers. Oh, thank you for the 20. I'll get to that in a second. Is gonna have a supplement on New Republic and GA carriers, and that would have been one of them. And I saw the ship they were going to use for it. So, Raffle Chief McJoffle Chief asks, how big is your Star Destroyer? Serious? I mean, I've got 2 kids and 1 on the way, so big enough. Will your Starship Versus videos ever come back? Yeah, I mean, I did one. I do like, you know, one every couple months. And yeah, the reception hasn't been. It's not bad, but I mean, it's not the kind of content people are watching on YouTube anymore, which stinks. And I gotta say, Starship Versus, if I'm being frank, were never something that I really enjoyed, because I don't know, no matter how I did it, somebody was going to end up mad. But I will say, kind of the format I've been doing recently, where instead of like just comparing guns, shields, propulsion, whatever, like I used to do, I kind of just talk about each ship and then talk through which I think would win. That's a format that I enjoy more. So if that's something you guys are interested in, you know, whenever I see, you know, leave comments, like good comments on matchups you'd like to see, and yeah, it's something I would consider.
Maybe this is a chance for me.
Goofiest aha moment in Star Wars. It's got to be something from the one of the old comics. There's a lot of goofy aha moments in those. Was the government right in re-educating Winston in 1984? I mean, I thought he was dead for sure. I still, you know, after reading it, there's a part where he's like imagining going down a hallway and being shot in the back of the head. I think that, you know, that's possibly what happened.
For 60 years, and then he died.
Do you like Fox? Like the okay, guys, I need to get a mod in this chat. Guys, I appreciate the questions, but if I see you spamming them, I'm going to mute you. Not a question. Mossman Curry is amazing. Thank you for the $2. Support after support. Yeah, it's actually real. I'm so proud of the Mossman Curry flavor. When no problem, I'm not mad at you. When they asked if I wanted to make a flavor, I thought about it for a long time, and I was like, well, I want to do Mossman Curry because it's my favorite food, but it's not a ramen, really. That's why, like, when I make it, I pretty much drain all the water out of it. It's not a ramen. It's like I don't know. It's like a curry dish. So we worked really hard, and there were limits. Like, we couldn't have peanuts, because if you have peanuts in a facility, it basically you're very limited in the amount of food that you can make, because it's basically contaminated. We couldn't do peanuts. We had trouble with certain things, like coconut milk was tough to get, and not really. So we had to find flavor alternatives, and they sent me a lot of versions. So like they would send me one, I would test it, I wouldn't like it. They sent me a lot of versions that I just did not fuck with at all. So I was very happy when we got it right.
This is where my whole life and the lives of my goddamn parents have been.
Like, there have been other things that I've been like taste testing to put my name on, and I've said no, because like we can't get it right, and they're like, yeah, no, we agree, because I don't want to just do like another same flavor as everyone else. If you had a Star Destroyer, I've always said the ship that I would live in would be a CR90. I love the CR90. Awesome. Favorite CIS council member? I like Wat Tambor a lot. Do I like Fox? I mean, I don't think a whole lot about many of the clones, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not playing Containment Breach, no. Favorite Jedi death scene? Oh, Mars is pretty good. Oh, what's the guy's name? He does the big sacrifice to the Yuuzhan Vong. Don't tell me. Whoa, what's it called? My lag there. Ganna Rizzotti. He is a really good death. Do you win against the music company that's been copyright striking me? Not really. So this happens all the time. They claimed like, I don't know, 150, maybe 200 of my videos. They've stopped claiming them, but they haven't released my counterclaims, and they haven't released the videos that I haven't contested. So sort of like I'm still losing money, but I feel like people are mad about the clone stuff. I just like, I don't know. For me, one thing you gotta understand is I didn't watch the Clone Wars growing up. I watched it when I was older. So worst Clone Wars arc, Mon Calamari. I really dislike that arc. It's so like the Gungans are fine. I like the Mon Calamari. But yeah. Oh, thank you to Super Steve with another donation. Okay, so how is Rex still alive in Return of the Jedi? The clones aged twice the age of humans. So the Empire didn't last 30 years. It lasts 19 plus 4, so 23. So that's 46 years, you know. Or let's just say he's I don't know, 35 at the end of, if we say he's 35 at the end of episode 3, like if he's 30, let's say 30 during Order 66, then you've got I think it's 23 years, right? So he's like in his mid 70s. So he's old, but like not that old. Yeah. Plus, like, it could be that the aging isn't completely linear as well. No, I don't think Ahsoka will have the same atmosphere as Andor. My hope is that Ahsoka is the most, the most movie-like of the shows up until this point. So executors have been refitted. The Lusankia of the New Republic was refitted. They captured it from the Empire. Oh fuck, I wasn't looking. Did I just screw myself? No, okay. They captured it from the Empire and they changed out some of the guns. I don't think it needs more hangar bays. The Executor has lots of hangar bays. Edmund Fitzgerald, the wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald. $20 donation. Thank you very much. Just finished reading the original Thrawn trilogy. Thanks to you. Oh, I'm glad. I hope you liked it. What elements from those books are you most excited to see in the Ahsoka show? The Katana fleet would be hard to reconcile, but some cloning stuff. I actually don't feel like the Katana fleet would be super hard to reconcile personally. Like I think they could make that work. I don't know. I'd like to see a Talon Card-like character where they're kind of operating with the underworld. I want to see, you know, more of the New Republic. I want to see Thrawn in big space battles. I don't know. It's hard because one of the things that I like so much. I'm not sure Dominion. Sorry. One thing I like so much about the Thrawn trilogy is that it captures the feel of the original trilogy so well. Even better than the prequels, in my opinion. Sometimes. Although the prequels weren't trying to. So. So I don't know. It's not like. In a way, I'm almost more excited for the Rebels aspects of the Ahsoka show, and then like every once in a while, I'll remember that there's supposed to be an E-wing in it. So, would you like to see Star Wars introduce Duxon? I mean, is it not in canon yet? I think that's a fair complaint that you about the mysticism of not being in the Thrawn trilogy. I guess I was referring to more like, I mean, there are elements of it, but You're right. I mean, and it starts off with Obi-Wan literally going away and like appearing and like, nah, I'm gone now, dude. So yeah, I think that's a fair complaint, and that's kind of always why I felt that the Thrawn trilogy wouldn't be a good episodes 7 through 10, or 7 through 9 rather, because I think that Thrawn is not the right type of villain to cap off the Star Wars series. Neither is Jorah Sabaoth, obviously. Yeah, I wouldn't have been supportive of the Thrawn trilogy being, 7, 8, and 9. I would have been cool with it doing its own thing. Super. Oh, by the way, if I miss any donations, please let me know, because I am trying to play at the same time. If you were put in charge of episode 10 story, how would you make it play out? Oh, that's a good question. I think... Okay, so what I would have probably done is I wouldn't have done episode 10 right away. Which, the Rey movie is going to be episode 10. Like, for all intents and purposes, it's going to be episode 10. What I would have done is do the Rogue Squadron movie. And this is... Listen, I'm not the biggest Marvel guy, but they do some things right. Or at least they did things right when it came to, like, slowly introducing threats in the early movies. What I would have done is had the Rogue Squadron movie where they're fighting... The show ostensibly is about them fighting warlords and trying to recreate the New Republic. And then, at some point, you get a glimpse of, like, some other great threat that's out there. And then you slowly build up to that. I don't know whether it's... I don't know what you do. Because it's tough to make the Sith the main threat after... Like, I think that it would have been easier for them if they hadn't tied in the Sith Eternal in episode 9. Although, I actually kind of... Oh, fuck. I actually kind of like Palpatine being... Like, I think Palpatine should have been included. But now it's like, I don't think you can just go fight the Sith again, and you can't fight the Empire again, so they have to do something pretty creative. I don't know. I think there will be a Rey movie made. Like the mainline, like Star Wars. I know, Star Wars is not in the strongest position it's ever been. I'm gonna also argue it's not in the weakest position it's ever been. Like, I think Star Wars really, like, after the prequels, there were a lot of people, not as young people, not, I was a young person at the time. We weren't burnt out. Oh, fuck. We weren't burnt out on the movies, but I remember there definitely being like a feeling of, okay, well, this is pretty much it for Star Wars. And then, of course, there were lots of people who didn't like the prequels as well, so... Yeah, that's kind of... I think episode 10 will get made. What starfighter do you think is just badass? Not because it's good dogfights or anything, just the backstory, how it looks good. Or not the backstory, just it looks good. The E-Wing. I really like the E-Wing, which I know is somewhat... Oh, fuck me. Somewhat controversial. Would you like the Yuuzhan Vong to return in canon? Elements of the Yuuzhan Vong should return. I like the idea of an extragalactic invader that radically kind of upends things. I think that's cool. There were aspects of the Yuuzhan Vong I didn't like. I'm not a fan of usually organic technology in science fiction. I think it's cool to a degree. Like, I like how they engineered, massive war beasts and even their ships to a degree, but I think it's a bit lame. So yeah, I just think generally they're a little too edgy. But yes, I like the idea of there being some massive thing that kind of flips the universe on its head. Does the Jedi regret geocoding the Sith species? I don't know what that means. Can you explain what that means and all? What's the weirdest vid you've made? Probably I did one with my wife. It was How to Catch a Jedi, and it was like a fake infomercial from the Society for Information Technology and Happiness or something. Sith. I thought it was a really hilarious video. If people liked it, it was just weird. Have you ever considered hosting a panel? Yeah, I have. I've been asked to host panels. I've never been invited to Star Wars Celebration, and in fact, every application I've made to Star Wars Celebration in the past has been denied. But I was asked by someone running a panel at like a non-Lucasfilm panel. It was on, I think it was just on Warfare and Star Wars or something to join, and I was going to do it, but it was a COVID year, so. But yeah, I don't know if anyone would really want me. I don't think I'm a great speaker. Terry says, how do you think we work on the toxicity in the fandom? It's hard to even join a Facebook group or commenting on videos without being dogpiled. Yeah, I agree. And I've definitely contributed to this. You know, I've done videos which are negative because that's how I feel. I don't consider myself to be a grifter. I know some people do. I don't consider myself to be a grifter. I never fake a negative or a positive opinion for views. I've been accused of both simultaneously. Like, I'll be being accused by one group of pretending to love everything, and then, you know, the other side will say, oh, I'm just jumping on the hate wagon. I honestly think that I'm just I just try to be an ordinary person, you know, like I try to, you know, if I dislike something, I dislike something. If I don't, I don't. Yeah. And I feel like I've been very consistent. Like, there's lots of people in the community, whether, you know, or even just random people, flip-flopped on The Last Jedi. When the reviews for that movie came out, a lot of people were pretty positive. Same for even, well, not as much The Rise of Skywalker, but, you know, I was always pretty consistent on that. And same with The Force Awakens. You know, I like that movie, and I still do like The Force Awakens. Does it have major issues? Oh yeah, absolutely massive. Like huge issues. However, my opinion at the time, and my opinion still, is that it was a excellent kicking off point for a trilogy, despite some mistakes, and, you know, there was a lot of room to do some really interesting things, and I like the characters. I like Kylo Ren, I like Rey, I liked Finn and Poe. I thought their dynamic was really fun. So yeah, it's hard. You know, I've definitely like caught myself and been like, okay, do I need to word sling some way or another way? But it's hard. Sometimes I think the best thing you can do sometimes is just log off. Sometimes just log off. Like I've stopped using Twitter because. Are you fucking serious? Oh no. Oh no. My only chance to get out of here is if I'm fucked. I'm fucked. You bastard. It's a fake hitbox. That's why this game is really fucking annoying. Okay, let's catch up on some donations. Has there been an Android AI revolution? Yeah, there's been a few. None that have went on for the longest time ever, but yeah. My opinion, right? She was played by a great actress. Writing was flawed to me. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. The game is called Only Up. I would include it on YouTube, but actually, let me just see if last time I streamed this a couple days ago, they didn't have the game. Let's see if they've got it on Only Up. Yes, they've got it now. So that should appear now. Yeah, I honestly think Kylo, like, being a little silly was kind of the point. But yeah, obviously, like, they didn't deliver on a lot of what they could have. What needs to happen for Star Wars to hit home runs? More video games, for one. I think the video games have consistently... Let me take a drink. I think the video games have fairly consistently been pretty good. And, like, people are playing them. Like, the Jedi games are huge. So, more games. Hit home runs. Like, I think Mando did it by just returning to the roots of the series, like in a way that even the prequels didn't, where it was essentially a Western Like I feel like the Book of Boba Fett season 2 could do that as well. But like The Mandalorian was a massive home run for Star Wars. Like The Mandalorian was pretty much, I think, as big as most streaming shows can be without reaching the absolute pinnacle of like a Stranger Things or a Squid Game, where it's like widespread, full cultural force. Like I think Mando was just one tier below that, which I would consider to be like a smash hit. Will, thank you for joining as a member. I'm doing well, thank you. What are your thoughts on doing homeworld content? That's a good question. I've actually talked to the homeworld devs before. And yeah, there's definitely a possibility. I was going to do a video once and something happened. Does he eventually answer all the donations? Yes. If I miss one, I will get to it. But yeah, I will get to every donation. But yeah, I would do homeworld. The next game is coming out soon too. So is it 3? It's homeworld 3, right? Or 4? I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the series, but yeah, I would do it. I like the ships seem cool. The gameplay's fun. The mods are cool. And regarding the one thing I want to talk about too, regarding the home run, not every Star Wars show needs to be a home run. Like Andor wasn't a home run. And I think that's cool. Like that's the I think Andor was like the best execution of, you know, the promise of streaming and of Star Wars expanding. Andor and Rogue One, where they were like, they didn't feel like Star Wars usually does, but they were both still spectacular. Rogue One obviously felt more like Star Wars than Andor, in my opinion, because it did, you know, it was just more of an action movie, and like there was the Force and stuff, and Vader. What is the least Star Warsy early expanded universe book? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I don't think you can count Splinter of the Mind's Eye. I was reading that today at the library, actually. Took my kids to the library and I saw it, so I was reading it. Least Star Warsy. Honestly, like, it gets pretty close. It's kind of funny because the Thrawn trilogy was like pretty much one of the first ones, unless you count like the old Han Solo books, which, you know, those are up there. The Thrawn trilogy was one of the first ones that meshes really well. I think like Courtship of Princess Leia, Truce of Bakura, probably the Callista trilogy though as a whole, that doesn't really mesh. Same with Crystal Star. That's like one that's infamously, but like Children of the Jedi is one where when I read it, I like was seriously wondering. You guys ever play like Super Mario Bros. 2? Like not the Lost Levels, like the actual second game that we got in North America, where it was literally just a reskin of something else so they could sell Mario stuff. To me, that's what Children of the Jedi felt like. Like it was a different sci-fi book that they put Star Wars on top of. I saw someone mention Jedi Prince. Like, yeah, that's fair, but like, and I read the Jedi Prince books. Well, not all of them, but I think 4 of them this year again. And yeah, they don't feel like Star Wars, but they're also young reader books. The best way to read through Star Wars books? I actually recommend audiobooks for a lot of them. The problem is not all of them are abridged. Or unabridged, rather. Abridged means that they've been shortened for time. And like, because of them being on cassettes back in the day, a lot of the Bantam era Star Wars books are abridged, which sucks. Like, I don't recommend listening to the abridged books because it's not a good experience. That being said, they've actually been recently going back and making unabridged versions of like some classic novels. Like the X-Wing series is finally available unabridged. The first 4 books, the Rogue Squadron series, is unabridged. So like 100% recommend that. There's also some fan versions of like the Young Jedi Knights, for example. What was I gonna say? Fuck, where was I? But yeah, overall, especially for new Star Wars books, like I really enjoy. Like I think there's been some really good new canon Star Wars books, Alphabet Squadron, for example, and I find the audiobook experience is just phenomenal. I've got, 2 months of Audible listen time. Like that's one sponsor, when they wanted to work with me the first time years ago, I was like, please. Oh my god, I fucked up. Okay. Thank you. Another donation. Kind of check. I've been introduced to the Star Wars vs. Warhammer 40k series by a fan with too much time. Excellent writing. No, I haven't. I haven't seen that. I'll check it out though. Lords of the Sith. I think I read that one. It's the one right after Rise of Darth Vader, right? I'm just looking at... Oh, no. It's the... Yeah, I read that back when it came out, but I don't remember. Wasn't it kind of like quasi-legends? Like, wasn't that the one that came out... Tales of the Jedi Season 2. I would like them to... I don't know if we know what they're doing exactly, but I would like them to move away from the Clone Wars. Like, I've had enough of the Clone Wars for now. I'd like to see Tales of the Other Jedi. Like the rest of the Jedi. Call it Tales of the Rest of the Jedi, and I'd be cool with that. I don't think Death Troopers, the book, needs to be canon. I would be fine if books like Death Troopers were never canon in the first place and just fun stories. This is 3D getting over it, yeah. I think honestly, boring answer, Star Wars is the best military uniforms. Like it's phenomenal. They're phenomenal. Mama, yeah, I don't think so. I think like they Separatist holdouts come out when they're convenient. I don't think I've ever read Honor Hair. Maybe the first one. Oh, I remember I read a book series back in the day about this guy. All I remember is it was about a dude who was awful and he gets transported to another universe. I forget what it's called. So someone will know what I'm talking about. It was a fantasy. No, they're not going to remove the sequel trilogy from canon. I don't think anyone telling you that's going to happen genuinely believes it. Oh, fuck. I don't know, like, for which year Star Wars started, I know that there were people who read the, like, everyone talks about the Star Wars movie having no hype about it whatsoever. But yeah, people had read the novel and were excited for it. I think Timothy Zahn talked about having read the novel. What do you think of the Now? They're interesting. I think stuff like that is really fun in reference books, but maybe not beyond that. Unless you want to do like a one-off story, like I'm cool with that. Any interest in World War II naval combat? Sort of, but I find history to be a lot to try to get into. Oh, the creature from the Han Solo movie? Yeah, the Maw creature. I think Alex, Star Wars Explained, did a pretty good video on that. I forget what it's called. The sort of Lovecraftian being. I remember when it came out, everyone was doing like, is this Abeloth? No. I would say... well, I'm going to be careful here. I'll just say very few people have read or are familiar with like Abeloth beyond a basic read of the Wikipedia, and that's fine. Like the first time I talked about Abeloth, I probably hadn't read all of Fate of the Jedi, or at least a lot of it since it came out. So like, yeah, I consider myself that. And those are kind of like, you could get away with that. Like, listen, I did lore videos back in the day that I had no business doing because I wasn't as familiar with the content as I should have been. But like, I don't know. Just like, there are all these things in the Abeloth and Fate of the Jedi that happen, like, not in the, like, nobody's even done like videos on things like the Lost Tribe of the Sith, really, when like you'd think that would be a really big video topic. It's the best way to have eggs cooked. I like see, that's, I've got to struggle with that. I like over medium, but like whenever I order eggs at the restaurant, I ask for order medium, they always give it to me fucking over soft, and I don't mind that, but like I want the yolk, you know, kind of hard. Maybe I'm wrong, but Mitchkov went to the Flyer. That makes a lot of sense for them because they don't need him. They don't need him now. I don't care about the draft. I'll read it later, and I don't know, unless the Rangers are drafting really early. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, eggs. I like over medium, but I never get them over medium because they don't serve them to me that way, so I have to ask for over hard. I like any kind of fried egg though. Boiled egg. Eggs are good. I don't want timeline fractures, no. I'm good without timeline fractures, I think. I missed the donation? Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss the donation? Oh, thoughts on trying to read the Horus Heresy? I did. I don't know, to be honest, I don't have a lot of interest in, like, I like Warhammer lore from like broad strokes, but I don't really know if it's a universe that I want to get really into. If I had infinite amount of time, yeah, for sure. But I don't. It's ultimately the decision. Like, I'm the kind of person as well who, I'll give a book a chance, but like, I'm also not afraid to put a book down that I'm not enjoying. You kind of have to, I think, if you want to read like a lot and you're a busy person like I am. Would you like if the Flood returned to Halo? Yes. Could I introduce you to a new book? It's called Void Conflicts, the Saga of Dawn Windchaser. It's basically some guy reimagining the Star Wars trilogy with a couple of twists. I've never heard of that, actually. But I'll check it out. I think Rex will be used pretty sparingly in Ahsoka if he's in it. I know the rumors are that he will be. I don't think they've officially confirmed it. I suspect he will be. My favorite Star Wars character? I like Chopper. I like all the droids. R2-D2 as well. Luke, though. Definitely Luke. Luke's my favorite. Will Pelion be in Ahsoka? I gotta assume so, right? Like, they got the actor. I don't think... I mean, maybe they would. I don't know if they'd get the actor for just... He's been name-dropped in the... He was name-dropped in the Rebel finale, obviously. They've got the live-action actor now. So, yeah, I think he will be. I would put money on it. He was in Mando Season 3, so I think it's definitely more likely than not. If someone wants to give me good odds, I'll put money on it. Fuck's sakes. Eli Vanto. I don't think they're going to do anything with Vanto or with the... fucking Jesus. With the... that Thrawn... The canon Thrawn novels. Shh. Do you like Mega Man X? I've never... My best friend Brandon was really into the Mega Man games. I never got super into them, I gotta say. I recently played through Super Metroid for the first time. Oh my god, what a phenomenal game. Oh no! Oh, okay, that was close. Yeah, I've played this. I actually played the Star Wars RPG once on a series that we did with Captain Shaq from the XP Gamers. And yeah, Wasted Space. It was the other guy, and then Corey, Charlie, and I. It was so much fun. It was a blast. I would do it again for sure. I think we will do it again. I'm very busy. But it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes. If you have the right kind of cheese and right kind of sauce. I honestly really like the E-Wing as it looked in that Ahsoka trailer. Yes, the Empire could wipe the Reapers, no questions. I think the Empire could wipe the Reapers. The Reaper fleet's not that big, and the Reapers aren't, like, on an individual level that powerful. Like, Star Wars is several tiers of power up from Mass Effect. I never did play Star Wars Commander. I'm playing Galaxy of Heroes right now, though. I'm in a really good guild, so I don't, what, am I stuck? Oh my god, I'm fucking stuck. Okay. Indie movie rankings. Last Crusade's my favorite, even though it's kind of thing, it's the same with Star Wars. Like, Last Crusade's my favorite, but I think the first one is obviously the best. Then Indy 2. So 3, 2, 1, 4, and we'll see where the newest one fits in. I don't want a Star Wars multiverse. I would rather them just have non-canon stories. Even several non-canon stories, but I don't want... Like, I don't need them making... Oh, this is... You know... Star Wars... Oh, shit. I wonder if I can jump... If I can go around that thing if I'm careful. Like, back, and then forward. Oh, nice. Oh, that saves me some time. The Grisks, I never found the Grisks as compelling as I wanted them to be. If I'm being honest, like, I wasn't really sold on them as a big threat. I did like the one, I forget his name, the one Grisk, like, commander. He was cool. What bomber or starfighter would I like to own the most? I like the Y-Wing, man. It's roomy. Like, I feel like the Y-Wing would be the best personal transport vessel. And yeah. What did I use to make the Eclipse video? EC Henry has a behind-the-scenes video all about how he made it. This ground is going to fall away in a second. Yep. The UNSC in the Bungie era had a really cool aesthetic. I like the Y-Wing without the armor. Maybe give me like the long probe version, which is like the Scout Y-Wing. I feel like that'd be a good daily driver. R41 or cloak shape. I definitely like the R41 more, I'd say. Which has been like quasi reintroduced into canon several times now. I do think eventually they might make those Mando pirate ships some form of Star Chaser. Sexualization of characters. Yeah, it's weird. Alright, we're gonna try to jump over to this taxi. Oh, got jelly legs there at the end. I think the fans are weirder about it than the creators, though, generally. Coolest experimental tech while being within the Star Wars vibe. I mean, the Empire. It's gotta be the Empire, right? Fuck. That was close. Can I jump out this way? Guys, we are making some good progress here. You want to see how far we've came? When we started, we were down there, the ground. What kind of law did you practice? It's called administrative law. It's like government law, basically. Or tribunal law is what you'd call it. Oh, I thought I was gonna miss there. Fuck. That's so sketchy. If I ever made my own ship, just my redesigning Star Destroyer video, which a lot of people didn't like. Favorite Halo ship? That's tough. I like the Marathon class. It's like kind of a sleeker Halcyon. And you do see them in Halo 2. I like most of the UNSC frigates as well. I always forget which one's which. I like the one that's in Halo 3. I think that's the Paris. Or no, isn't the? I think the Paris class is Halo Reach, maybe. I can't remember. There's like 3 frigate classes. They're all the exact same. Is Earth mentioned in Star Wars? I mean, they say Earth like ground, but. Yeah. Okay. Charon, Karen, I think is, yeah. I don't know much about Stargate, so. I feel like something's gonna try to knock me off. I can't remember. It's been a good run so far, though. So far.
I feel more
Still plenty of time to fuck it up.
story. Jack and the Beanstalk. What will it be at the end? Really a giant?
I mean, the time period between Revenge of the Sith is it being overused? I don't know. I don't think so. Not yet. I think there may be a risk of that happening, but not yet. Yeah, hot chocolate gets mentioned all the time. They mention it in hot chocolate is mentioned in Heir to the Empire. That's what Luke drinks when he's outside on Coruscant at the very beginning. One video I want to do is every appearance of Coruscant before every appearance of Coruscant before the movies. What are they playing? Oh, it's a screensaver. Like in Heir to the Empire, it's in the comics. I'll count that, I guess. It's in Shadows of the Empire. It's in X-Wing or TIE Fighter rather. It's in other stuff too. Just can't think right now. Oh, Star Wars Rebellion, which has a really cool look that kind of was they used in Mando actually. I don't know if Halo can ever truly be if it can ever really die, but it's in just an awful spot right now. Why are you looking like a whole schnack this evening? Can't help it, baby. It's just the way I am. Schnack? I don't remember where to go in here. Out the window? Yes. Onto the credit cards. Still think the ultimate prank. They when you're at this section, they pull from your Steam payment and they fucking leak all the shit of every streamer. All the big ones are too rich enough to give a shit anyway. This part's a little sketchy. If I remember correctly, you go up here, yes. This is a tough jump here. Oh no, wait, I can go back. Okay. Make it a bit more safe this way. My hands are sweaty. This is fucking stressful.
What fortune didn't give, she can't take away.
Mom spaghetti. Fuck. Sorry, chat. I had to get through that section. Can you clap? what aesthetic do I prefer? Cyberpunk versus analog like Star Wars or new Dune? I don't know. The Dune movie did some really cool things. Cyberpunk, I don't know. Like it's really hard to pick which one of those I like more. Like they have different feelings. Like I like Star Wars as a Western. I like Cyberpunk as like a, you know, detective noir. I know that's not a satisfying answer, but I don't really see them as like vying against each other, if that makes sense. I'd always like another Star Wars Empire at War type of game. Strategy, tactic game. I don't know if I have a favorite starfighter. I like the A-Wing a lot. I like the E-Wing. A lot of the Republic starfighters fall a little flat for me. They're not bad. I think they're not quite as good as the OT fighters for me personally. Favorite football/soccer club? I used to like Arsenal back in the day. I don't follow football though. I only ever watch the Premier League though, or like international games. I'll just say Team Canada. Ooh, nice save. Creepiest George Lucas moment? Oh, definitely when he wanted to make Marion and Indy, like, he wanted it to be like she was like 13 or 14 when Indy had a relationship with her, which, like, she even says in the movie, I was just a child, which not really great. The Flash bombing's 80 nostalgia is dead. No, I think people don't, I kind of mentioned this in my video that I did. I don't think people are as accepting of things just because they've got a name of a franchise on it. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the draft. I'll do a video afterwards, probably. I actually kind of did this stream so I could skip a video tonight on the main channel. I've got a cool video that I did all about real world science coming out. I had Zach edit it because I knew it was going to take a while. It's on just like why we haven't, it's like on the existence of aliens, really, like the Drake equation and stuff. I think you guys will like it. Yeah, I always found that funny how, I don't know if Harrison is as dismissive of Han as he sometimes acts. I think he gets a little tired of Star Wars fans more than indie fans. That'd be my guess. I was gonna grab a drink, but I'll wait. Oh, I'll check the donation in a second. Oh, 6 years. Alex from Star Wars Explainer, Corey's datapad. I gotta give it to Alex. I'm sorry, Corey, but I gotta give it to Alex. Oh my god, did I fucking miss that? He's like jacked Corey. Well, he's not jacked, but he was kind of jacked for a year there. I think the sequels will be loved eventually. I mean, I think there's people that love the sequels now, and I think like as time goes on, the vitriol towards them will, yeah, it'll decrease. Isaac Arthur, I mean, I'm not surprised he's made videos on that. I don't know his content, but I'm guessing he's Arthur C. Clarke and Isaac Asimov. A little off world record pace. Yeah, I'm not doing great. I don't think it's a bad pace though either. Not a big fan of apple snacks, Marmar. So even apple pie, unless it's got ice cream, not a huge fan. Just 200 minutes? Okay, let's go.
to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to
Ugh.
you.
How much time do you think passes in Revenge of the Sith? I mean, I know the answer. It's like 3 days. Even though it feels more like months. It's like days. The Life of a Smuggler sounds pretty fun. Have you been to Toronto much? I used to live in Toronto. I love Toronto. I visited this summer. I'm probably going to go again once ticket prices go down a bit. Because like where I live, I can get $89 tickets to Toronto sometimes. I think Marmara could probably be on Barrio 1 week. Well, if she could probably take my spot, because a lot of you don't know this, but I'm about to have a baby, so... Well, I'm not. Only baby I'm having is a cheeseburger baby. My wife is, though. Are the Chozo, are those like the eagle things? I don't know anything about it. I've only played Super Metroid. Favorite Star Wars Legends book? Probably Heir to the Empire. Or Plagueis. Or The Last Command. Favorite part about Toronto? Sorry, I realized I should probably check my my messages and shit. I like Toronto. It's very vibrant. It's an incredibly vibrant city. There's always, the food is so good. Where I lived in a place called King West. If you're familiar with Toronto, you'll know King West probably, or at least Queen West. King West is just like 2 streets down. It was like a very cool area while also being like 20 minutes from downtown. 30 minutes downtown. Yeah, I really miss living in Toronto. The thing is, I probably couldn't have bought a house there, and that was like the big thing for me. It's funny. I know I've told this story before. Some of you will recognize it. But I started my YouTube channel when I lived in Toronto, actually. Because I was articling, which is what you do out of law school. It's like residency for doctors, but for lawyers. I was doing my articling, and even I had what the fuck am I? Oh right, I remember where I was supposed to go. Uh-oh, don't miss. Oh my god, I had a phenomenal job. Like I was like, not to brag, but I was pretty much top of my field right out of law school. Just the job I got was spectacular. But we really wanted to go home. She was my girlfriend then, my wife now. We really wanted to go home, and so she moved home in advance so she could start looking for a job. I stayed for my articling and then for a few months as a lawyer. And so I had lots of time, and I was pretty poor. Like I was earning probably like 60 grand a year there. So I think it was 65 grand a year. But like for downtown, what the fuck? Does that usually happen? Oh yeah, it does. For downtown Toronto, that's like kind of poor. So I didn't have much money to go out. I didn't know many people because I'd only been there for like a year, and you know, my wife and I didn't have much money to go out. So I kind of just spent my time after work working on YouTube videos, and the channel ended up blowing up. So expenses paid anywhere. Where would I go? Australia. Good book series to read. Read the Southern Reach trilogy. It's a phenomenal series. Honor Guard's pretty good. I like the Spec Ops Elite Armor.
Education breeds confidence.
North York. Yeah, I know where North York is. I used to travel to North York sometimes.
Breeds peace.
No, I did not do U of T. Interesting amount of stores are trying to stop the same from happening. What's going on in 40K? I'm not familiar. Oh, the ancient bird. Yeah, that's what I said, right? They're like, aren't they in statues in Super Metroid?
How to make money, how to adapt
Yeah.
socially, how to distortions.
Pretty Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It's so good. I don't think so.
Scoliosis and hatred for people.
If I had to play one video game for the rest of my life, what would it be? Oh, that's a tough one. I've thought about this before. Probably like Civilization. Or like heavily modded City Skylines. Maybe Halo 3, just because it would remind me of the good old days. To travel to fucking Hogwarts here. Yeah, I like the Raptors. Yeah. They're my NBA team. I liked the Rockets for a while, but the Raptors are my team now. Yes, we will get City Skylines 2 streams. Game looks good. I watch a lot of City Skylines YouTubers. $2.20 is a really good one. Probably my favorite. The guy named Imperial... I think his name is it Imperial Jedi? Or I think... I can't remember. My most prized... That's actually an interesting question. What's my most prized possession? I don't know. I'm not a big possessions guy. Just looking around my office. Hold on one second. I wouldn't say this is my most prized possession, but this is a cute thing my wife made for me when I guess that would have been my first Father's Day. Yeah, I don't count people as possessions. I'm just trying to think. It would be something sent to... I don't have anything on like my computer from like a money standpoint. Like my whole computer setup. Like if my house burnt down, that would be the first thing. If my house burnt down, everything was safe. My computer would be the first thing that I would like really fucking worry about. I also recently, knowing that I was having another kid, and like my work schedule is gonna have to be a bit more flexible. I invested in a MacBook Pro, a pretty expensive one too. Not to fucking toot my own horn, but it was fairly pricey. But I absolutely love it. It's phenomenal for editing. I actually like it more than editing on my PC sometimes. Oh, you fucker. But yeah, I quite like that. I don't know, I'm honestly not a materialistic person. Like, I buy things like I bought a Steam Deck, for example, like, which was the epitome of like, I don't need this. But like, it's more because I love technology. I don't buy a lot of useless shit. Oh wow, those ones actually have a hitbox. The other ones don't. Okay, I'm gonna look at chat in a second here. Oh fuck. But yeah, I'll save my PC.
To all the foolish, happiness from madness. To all the smart, woe from wit.
Let's take a second to read just through the Star Wars universe. That's a good question. So I was introduced to Star Wars by my dad. I actually still remember the very like him explaining it to me. I was sitting on my parents' waterbed. Funny enough, they had a waterbed. Sitting on my waterbed, and he was explaining to me the character of Chewbacca. And he explained it, and it's funny because I actually saw, I think it was George Lucas later on explain it this way. So I'm wondering if he got it from an interview he watched or something. But he explained Chewbacca as like part lion, part bear, part like gorilla. And I was like, okay, well that obviously sounds sick. And I still remember the first time I watched it, actually. I was like, it was Empire Strikes Back. He borrowed the VHS series from his dad, or his boss, my dad. My dad borrowed it from his boss. And yeah, we watched Empire Strikes Back first, and we watched that, like, I remember in the subsequent days, I watched it many times. Because I remember specifically, for what purpose anyway, I remember specifically pretending to be Luke hanging off of the antenna on Bespin. Oh yeah, the dinosaur. Thank you, Mama. I forgot about that. That shit almost knocked me off the first time. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, I didn't know it fucking went all the way around. Yeah, I specifically remember lying on my couch upside down, pretending I was hanging on the antenna on Bespin. And I know I'm losing you guys here. I'm just trying to remember. And then we bought the VHS set, the silver edition, then the gold edition, which was the one I watched the most, and I was obsessed ever since. Growing up, like, the video games were big in my life. The books were somewhat big. Like, we couldn't buy every book, and you know, the internet wasn't really as popular there, so like you didn't think to look up like, oh, a complete book list. Instead, you would just you know, you'd go to Chapters and fucking buy whatever book was there that looked cool. So like, it wasn't until I was no, dude. No, dude. No. Oh my fucking god. Well, it could have been worse. To be honest, it could have been worse. I'm back probably 15 minutes. It's not that bad. But yeah, lots from the library, lots from like, we went to the library a lot. My mom was really big into reading. Like, I remember my mom used to read like 3-4 books a week. She had a journal she used to make, where, you know, she would write down the book she read, how many pages it was, you know, synopsis. It was like several volumes. And she lost it. She left it at a campground. We used to go camping almost every week in the summers. And really, once the campground's open, we'd go camping every weekend, and she lost it, and she was heartbroken. Yeah, we're not too far back, actually. But yeah, I like reading a lot. I will say law school kind of killed my love of reading for a while. But obviously, yeah, when I got older, I was able to, you know, fill in the gaps, read the books I missed as a kid. And like, Wikipedia was a really cool resource back then, because you could, you know, learn about the universe without having to, you know, read every book. Bearcat says, I watched the speedrun. You don't need to go through the planets. You can run around the circumference. Okay, that's good to know for this next time. I'll try that probably. I've watched The Expanse. Yeah, I've not finished. I'm not caught up. Part of the reason why I stopped my watch through of The Expanse was because it was Amazon Prime, right? And the subtitles, it didn't have good subtitles at the time. And I remember looking online, and they were just like, yeah, sorry, we don't have them yet. So that kind of... I'm someone who fucking needs subtitles. I don't know why. But... Oh, favorite elites in a Halo game? I mean... Probably Halo 1's, actually. So we were 52, so yeah, we're about... I think we were at 52 or 58, so we're like 10, 20 minutes back. George Lucas has zero interest in buying Star Wars and doing it again. For one, pretty good chance whatever he did, people wouldn't like. For two, he's old as hell. He's made his money. Why would he? Like, he's undoubtedly seen how we've treated every fucking person who's done a Star Wars thing. And I can't imagine he's got any desire to touch the franchise. Like, George Lucas doesn't care about the fucking lore in Star Wars. He just doesn't. He might be mad about some of the themes and stuff, but I doubt he gives a fuck. My thoughts only. Yeah, we're not too far back. We'll catch up. Like, the idea that that's what George wants to do in his fucking twilight years of his life, or his prime years of his life, is make another Star Wars movie for people to hate it. Like, dude, he was miserable after, like, he's talked about, like, making the prequels, and just, like, he's like, I make this fucking, my passion for you guys, I make these movies for you guys, or, like, I go back and make the original trilogy my true vision, I get yelled at. So, nah, he's probably good. Yeah, of course I played Fallout. I've never played, like, the first two, but... Oh, gotcha, Clash. Thanks. I'd rather hate more like an Imperial ally. Well, it's definitely not an Imperial puppet state, because it's kind of doing its own thing. Like, you gotta understand about the Empire of the Hand is... Like, yeah, they exist in the lore, but practically... by the Yuuzhan Vong, like, so the Empire of the Hand is introduced in the Thrawn duology. They feature again in, like, a couple of the books set in that era or written around that time. However, like, by the time they're doing the Yuuzhan Vong War, which is, like, the thing that was written immediately subsequent, the Empire of the Hand is kind of dropped for just the Chiss in general. Like, it's not... You don't really see much from the Empire of the Hand in the main novels. It becomes, like the Chiss. I do like making houses in video games. That would be my hope in Starfield. I don't know if we know for sure whether it's going to have, like, buildable houses and shit, but I hope so. Okay, I gotta jump on that cross, I think. Yeah, jump on the cross, and then... Fuck, I would have been done. No, I don't think the CIS were ever going to win. Oh, I always fucking forget where I'm supposed to go when I get to this part. That's weird. No more kids after this, most likely, Marmar. Does Vong exist in canon? No, not yet anyway. What did my boss say when I quit law? He actually never found out. So I had the contract that was going up. It's the bigger surprise. What the fuck? My wife was more surprised about a lot because I did my my YouTube channel kind of in secret from her. I don't know if I was embarrassed or what, but I didn't tell her until, like, it was kind of a pleasant surprise. She was still a bit weirded out, but it was like, yeah, I got this YouTube channel. I'm making money from it. And I actually didn't quit law to become a YouTuber. I had a natural gap in my employment because I was moving back to Halifax. And I was like, what do you think about me just going for this? And she was like, yeah. I had one interview that for a clerkship, which is like when you work with a judge, which in Canada is like, in the US it's like you do that when you're in law school, I guess, but in Canada it's more like a proper legal job you do after articling. Fuck, what am I fucking yammering on about? Oh yeah, so I didn't get the job. I got really far in the interview process. They called my references, which, like, every time I've ever had my references called except that time, I've gotten the job. So they called my references, didn't get the job. They called all my references too. My articling principal, the lawyers I'd worked with, even my the person I'd worked for in law school, but didn't get the job. And obviously I'm very happy I didn't get the job, because if I had, I would have had to actually make the decision between, okay, like, I've got a really good, like if I do this job, I'm pretty much, I've got a phenomenal foundation for my legal career, because I've had a great articling job. I was like writing before I wrote briefs for the Supreme Court and stuff. I would have had a really good articling job and a really good clerkship, and it was with the Court of Appeal as well. I think what held me back was my grades. I only had, usually clerks rather are like really good writers and researchers, which I was, to be fair, but usually they have really good law school grades to go along with that. I was a B law school student for sure. I mean, it wouldn't have led you to become you don't go from clerkship to judge. Like, you do the clerkship and then you probably work at a firm or with the government. I wanted to work with the government. And then, anyone who's a lawyer could be a judge eventually. Yeah, I would have wanted to be a judge eventually. Never gonna happen now. Actually, you know what? I was the it's kind of funny because I actually, at my current age, I wouldn't be old to be in law school at my current age. Like, law school's a lot of people with their bachelor's degree, and then, like, a lot of people have another degree as well. Like, a lot of master's students. I actually didn't even have my bachelor's degree. Oh yeah, you just fucking run right by it. Yeah, I didn't get my bachelor's degree because I was accepted to law school after my 3rd year, so I just did that. I never got my bachelor's degree. No. Oh, fuck me. You can say fatter, Andrew. It's okay. Won't be offended. So, like, I get lots of, like, people saying you should cover this series or that series. And, like, I actually really appreciate those comments because it means you want to hear kind of my thoughts on a universe or my take on something, which I appreciate. But, like, for me, yeah, I could cover The Expanse, I could cover all these things, but like,
The best revenge is not
there are
to be
people who do it
betrayed.
already, who are really into it, and who have all this knowledge that like, I don't have expert knowledge in The Expanse. And I don't want to do something if it's just going to be me reading off a Wikipedia page or only having the basic level of knowledge. Like, I talk about Star Wars on my Star Wars channel and hockey on my hockey channel because I genuinely feel like I can... Oh my fucking god, I did it again! I am a fucking moron. The same place twice in a row. I'm going to land in the same place, hopefully, if I'm lucky. Oh no, I don't think I can get up from here. Can I get an RIP Bozo in the chat, please? Okay, no, I can get back up. We're going to keep going. If you guys want to leave, I get it, but I'm going to keep going. Actually, I might be stuck. Oh my goodness gracious.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path.
I'm gonna have to jump all the way down there.
You can always repeat.
Oh wait, hold on.
From our mistakes.
The question is, do I try? I think the best move here... I don't think I can make it to that white space. Oh, I thought those were hovering over it. Fuck's sakes. I'm like 25 minutes back now, again. I've never read Project Hail Mary, no. That's like, it's weird, because that's such a simple jump. I think both times I tried to sprint jump it, and that was, like, I landed on the turtle, or whatever it was, and then I went over. Which is silly because the goal of this game, believe it or not, is to not fall. I heard there's a debug dev elevator. But no, this is like the ultimate... It's the journey, not the destination game. I did a video on the name Eckhart's Ladder, what it means. It means nothing, essentially. Just, it sounds pithy. But yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Best place to start with Legends? I always recommend that you start with the Thrawn trilogy. Some people suggest Bane. Not a huge Bane guy myself, so I wouldn't. Okay, that might be it for me. Man, I'm missing simple fucking jumps. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this game is extremely fucking, like, you're fighting the controls. I don't know if that's clear or not in my gameplay. But, you're fighting the controls as much as, like, the individual jumps are not difficult. It's that this is the jankiest game, like, half these hitboxes are, like, not really existent.
Believing in success is half the battle.
I've had to go this way before, so we'll go. Moist Critical is just really good at video games. But I'm sure he also has played this game a lot more than me. Favorite Star Wars video game? Probably Star Wars Squadrons, honestly. I don't know, there's so many good Star Wars video games. Like, Star Wars must be the non-video game originating franchise with the most quality video games. That makes sense. Well, yeah, maybe there's more Mario games that are quality, but like, that's a good idea, Marmar. Take a sip of beer. I think I will. I think my next big fall will probably call it, but Star Wars Racer's fun. I'm a good Star Wars Racers player, not to brag, but I'm gonna brag. I always forget which way I'm supposed to go. Oh wait, on the bowling ball. Key here is to not fall down the giant hole. That takes you right back down. Starfighters, yeah, most of them seem to have particle shielding. I don't think an F-22 Raptor would be piercing its particle shields. I think it'd probably want to overwhelm its energy shields with a missile. But I don't know much about real-world military stuff. Build a factory set in Star Wars Galaxy. Any advice? Yeah, choose a plot of space that's not already been in, that, you know, seems interesting to you. Make the inhabitants have like 15 planets in them and call them isolationists like the Hapins or the Duskon League, and there you go. How high am I right now? Oh, I'm so high right now, you have no idea. Don't forget to bring a towel in case you get all wet. I quite like Dragon Ball. I like Dragon Ball more than Dragon Ball Z, though. Favorite non-Starship Star Wars game? Probably Jedi Outcast. I mean, there are spaceships in that. Actually, all the Dark Forces / Jedi games have cool spaceships, except for maybe Jedi Academy. Or maybe KOTOR, or maybe Shadows of the Empire. Those would probably be my top 3. So I've watched very few anime. I've seen Attack on Titan. I've seen. Now, Bounty Hunter I've never actually played all the way through, and Force Unleashed is fun, but I think it's overrated, to be honest. I think it's kind of mindless. I didn't play Jak and Daxter except on my PSP back in the day. I was an Xbox guy, so. Is it really? Are you using a Z95 in Jedi Academy? I didn't remember that. But yeah, the anime I've seen, Attack on Titan, not the newest. Like, I've gotten up to the point where they get outside the walls, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost my interest a little bit. I'll probably get back into it at some point. Attack on Titan, I've watched. Neon Genesis Evangelion, I've watched. Just the show, not like all the other associated stuff. And Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, I loved it as a kid, but I think in hindsight it's pretty shitty in some ways. Like, the villains are cool, the power-ups are cool, but it's too goddamn long. My favorite anime is King of the Hill. Okay, let's go. Well, it'll be as good as Fallen Order. I think it could be. Yeah. I think it could be. My favorite DBZ arc. Yeah, Vegeta, the Saiyan arc was actually pretty good because it's the most that's like Dragon Ball. Like, I don't know. I do like when they... Anytime Goku fucks off to train for a bit and he's like on Snake Road or wherever else he goes, I enjoy that. Yeah, like, so like One Piece. That's like... I would never probably get into that because aren't there like 500-600 episodes? And by the time I reach the end, there'd probably be 500-600 more. I can't fucking finish my Star Wars Rebels rewatch, for Christ's sake. This is sick. I actually swapped a lot lightsaber color in Jedi Survivor. Usually I'm a blue lightsaber guy, but I went orange for a bit. I went green for a bit. I went white for a bit. It's really depending on my outfit, how I was feeling at the time. I would have appreciated that, Murmur. Is there a Pride banner on Disney Plus? I'm not watching the draft because I can't be bothered. Like, I feel like I can read the draft order later and not miss too much. For the sabers I used in Jedi Survivor, I was mostly so I did a normal playthrough my first time through, and I was almost always Claymore, and I think I was Claymore and single, honestly, but honestly I stuck Claymore for almost the entire time. And then on my second playthrough I did it on Grandmaster, and I played pretty much the whole game with the double sabers, like the dual wielding sabers. It made the game so much easier, especially the boss fights. I would go double lightsaber and dual sabers. Like the ability to cancel, strike cancel on the dual sabers was invaluable, really. Yeah, the Lancer's a better anti-starfighter vehicle than the Carrack. For a Clone Legion, I don't know, a 501st, but I don't really have one. No, I've not watched much. The only one I watched like when I was a kid, we used to have Teletoon in Canada, and Dragon Ball would come on, Dragon Ball Z, and I think in between them was Inuyasha. No, Inuyasha was after them, and before them I think was one of the Gundam Seeds. I don't remember which Gundam Seed it was. I just remember I really liked the outro. It was like do 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 do, and then it was like a landscape with all these wrecked mechs. And it was like I never followed the story at all. Like I didn't watch enough to follow the story. I just remember it being absolutely like the most melodramatic shit, but not in a bad way. Like I was like, oh my god, I know nothing about these characters, but I'm interested. Mind you, I was 14 or 13. Favorite Jedi General? Plo Koon? I don't know. No, not Plo Koon. I don't know, actually. Plo Koon is not bad, though. Maybe Kit Fisto, though. Favorite Star Wars Robot Chicken skit? Oh, there's so many. I liked I like Plo Koon, because isn't it Plo Koon in the Malevolence arc? Isn't he the one that says, is it the Malevolence arc where they're like, we're expendable? Not to me. I mean, isn't Kit Fisto pretty wholesome as well? Like, he's the one in the Mon Calamari arc, isn't it? Because he's got the Gungans with him. No, definitely not Kitty Mundi though. He's a fucker. Definitely not Luminara. Ugh. I'll do a video on the draft later, yeah. Did you have French? I took French immersion, so un peu. A little bit. I was never fluent. There was a point where I could read it and understand somebody if they spoke slowly. Gun MT is what I remember. Yeah, it could be. That sounds right. I'd genuinely cry if you hit 1 million subs. Thank you. We will. We'll hit it. It's been slow, but we'll hit it. What do I think of Star Wars Theory? I've answered it before. I've got no problems with the guy. I think everyone wants to create drama, but I got no problems with it. We had some Twitter beef back in the day, but I think that was a long time ago. I generally don't try to talk about other Star Wars YouTubers or other YouTubers in general, like, unless we're friends. Like, when I did have fights with people, I didn't enjoy it. It made my, like, experience on the internet very not fun. And, like, if you're gonna waste your time on the internet, like, at least not be miserable. Wolf and Gregor ships. I'm kind of I guess we'll learn about it sometime. Collabs, yeah, that was a big thing back in the day. I used to do a lot of collabs. I mean, I'm definitely open to it if the right situation came along. You gonna be focusing more on your sports channels? Yeah, I'm gonna continue to focus on the hockey channel personally. It's like Brandon does scripts and editing, but I do, half the videos plus all the voiceover. Probably more than half. But what was I gonna say? But we're gonna do a football channel too this coming season, which I've got 2 writers and an editor on board. It's called Peak Football. We've already started. It's very slow right now because it's like the NFL during the off season is literally dead. Yeah, internet, exactly. That's the thing about interpersonal drama on the internet. It's like, it's very, very difficult to like, things on the internet happen that would never happen in real life. Like, I don't have beef with people. Like, there are so many people who don't like me on the internet. Most of them people I've never interacted with. And I'm not saying I'm the most popular guy ever, but that doesn't happen in real life. Because in real life, you're like, oh yeah, this is a real person, not just some dude on the other side of a screen. Yeah. And like, I've pretty much regretted most of the online disputes that I've been in. That spat with Star Wars Theory, definitely regretted that. Spats with other, I'll say I haven't been in too many, but yeah. That's partially why I decided to quit Twitter as well. Hill 2 birds aren't fun. I don't watch much baseball. I used to go see Jays games when I lived in Toronto. Oh fuck, where's that thing? I wanted to go to a Jays game this summer with my son. Like in person, I'm a very agreeable person. Like I was a part of a lot of pretty diverse friend groups, and I think that's still true online. Like I get along usually with people who disagree with me, like on political topics. Obviously, like I spend more time with the people that I, you know, see more eye to eye with, but my wife definitely asked me about the Twitter drama that one time, yeah, for sure. We did have forced diversity in my friend group, yeah. One of my best friends is Lebanese, and only because only so we could check the box off. Favorite ice cream flavor? Ooh, I like cherry vanilla a lot. Birthday cake's good. Cookie dough's good. Favorite outdoor activity? Does patio drinking count? I think my content hasn't actually changed that much on the channel. Like, I've done a lot of pretty highly scripted content. Like I feel like my rant I did the other day was, I feel like my rant the other day or yesterday was my first one in kind of a while. But is bagged milk a thing in every part of Canada? It used to be more common, but like we don't have bagged milk in Nova Scotia anymore, though we did when I was a kid. I think now it's pretty much mostly in Ontario that it exists. Oh, shit. If I ever fired off a tweet expecting drama, not got it? No, I don't think so. If I want drama, I can usually get it. And I wanted drama maybe, like... No, I never really actually wanted a whole lot of heat. I definitely got some sometimes, largely from like High Republic fans or Thrawn stands, which like, listen, when I get in a fight with the High Republic stands, like nobody's threatening my kids, or like maybe they're calling me racist or something, but like they're online weirdos. Doesn't really bother me. There have been some fights that I've gotten into where like people are trying to dox me or like, that's, yeah, I'm not interested in that, so kind of try not to rock the boat a bit too much. See you, Robert. Have a good one, buddy. I mean, my thing about the High Republic was just like I got a preview copy of a book, and on it said, "If I were not a Jedi, I would not be who I am." On the back cover, that was the quote, and I tweeted, I was like, "This is a really like kind of dumb back cover." Like I think I just tweeted like I think I literally just tweeted like LOL, and like I'm not a High Republic hater. Like I've read not every book, but like all the major ones, and you know. Oh wow, I can just fucking phase right through that. God, this part's really annoying. The game's physics are not able to handle weirdly shaped objects as well as they should be. Biggest disagreement you've mediated between friends? I've had the same group of guys that I've been friends with for my whole life, basically. The only massive disagreements have been like over, there's been a couple like over women, but none that I've really mediated. I played a bit of Rebellion, not much though. Oh, including Bureau arguments? Again, I'm not really mediating those. I'm more like a central figure in them. Okay, there we go. Finally. If I remember correctly, there's a way I can make this go quick. Yeah, if I can jump on this egg, I think that should speed things up a bit. Oh yeah, the AI Star Destroyers are gonna be here. I think before it's Star Destroyers, it'll be like planets and things and like filling in scenes, which like Adobe's generative AI is pretty incredible. Like I've used it a couple times to, like if you look on my hockey channel, I did a video a couple of days ago on Steve Smith's own goal in the 86 playoffs, and I used AI to make the resolution fit for a YouTube video because it was originally too tall. All it does is extends the background, but it does such a good job. Oof. Okay. Turtle, 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 take me on our way. My beer. Battle of Endor, more like Scarab? No, not really. Halo 3 Elites are cool. I like Halo 3 Elites. I never played as one, but I don't know. We're on a bit of a TapCaf hiatus. It might end up being like all summer. I actually did watch a bit of Cowboy Bebop, and I enjoyed it. I think what held me off it so long was the title is pretty goofy sounding. But yeah, I watched. There's a Halo ring in one episode, so that was cool. Yeah, if I probably will watch it again, but I'll start from the beginning because it's only it's only one season, isn't it? Yeah, no, there's no Star Wars podcast, unfortunately. So I think you're SOL. No. So this part is just annoying because like I'm relying on the game not having weird janky hitboxes, and it does. Yeah, we got Division Season 2 at some point. Yeah, with TapCaf, like I really enjoy the show, and it's cool, and I've got no plans to stop it, really ever. But it takes a lot of my time, and we've made $0 off TapCaf. In fact, I lose about $100 on TapCaf on podcast hosting a year. So, hey Echo, welcome, man. So yeah, no plans to
it's not what goes into
there are no plans regarding what specifically we're going to cover next, but I'm guessing that it'll be the new. Oh, fuck's sakes. I'm guessing it'll be the new Inquisitor book, which I actually just got my advanced reader's copy of. Jumping on condoms. Okay. Romantic strawberries. Oral sex thing. Oh, let me get the heart. No, I really like Indiana Jones though. I hope the new movie's good. Obviously, whoa. You know, obviously the reviews have been pretty mediocre and sales aren't looking good. I'd like to go see it with my dad, I think. I think I'm going to see Transformers tomorrow with my son. Favorite Sith? I don't know. Boring answer, but how do you not love Palpatine? I'm not a huge old Republic era fan of those Sith, except for like Revan, which I guess not really a Sith, but I have not watched much Transformers, so in Canada they called Beast Wars Beasties. Funny. I think it was something about the war as a children's show title back in the day. So instead of Beast Wars, it was Beasties. Ooh. Plagueis. Yeah, I mentioned that. It's like I don't know which flop I'm most surprised in. Honestly, probably Fast and the Furious. Oh, I'm looking forward to it, Zach. Return of the Jedi is probably my favorite. Although, like, I fully recognize it's, like, objectively, I think the worst out of the first three. Like, I think Empire Strikes Back is almost a perfect movie. Like, the way the Empire Strikes Back expands on what we got in A New Hope and adds so much to the world building, new characters, the music is just never been better. Excuse me? What? Dude, what the fuck?
You are about to meet the king of the world. He will answer any one question you have, and he will grant you one wish.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, it's not 2 hours, so I guess we'll keep going for a bit, but
sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but
I don't fucking know what happened.
Always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
Well, that was just the ultimate, skill issue. But a dog. I got greased. That section is not even difficult either.
Many have broken lives here in pursuit of their dreams.
They never throw me forward, yeah. Fuck's sakes. good thing is we can kind of skip some things that we weren't able to. Actually, no. So just for reference, we're pretty much back exactly where we were last time. So we'll try one more time. And then, yeah, because that one was, like, the other ones, okay, my fault. Like, I'll accept the other ones. This one, I guess I shouldn't have been. You ever see that, like, episode of South Park where the fucking tech ed teacher's like, stop screwing around or whatever? That was what I needed. I'm guessing the High Republic era is going to culminate with it being revealed that the Sith have been behind a lot of what's been going on, especially given what's going on especially like with the Acolyte existing. The Seventh Amendment? Bro, I don't know. I'm not American. Is that the women voting one? Yeah, I've got about 150 false copyright claims on my channel right now. Like, I need to spend like 2 days going through them and disputing them, but I haven't had the energy. Butter dog in the butter. So the way the copyright claims work are, if you claim it early enough, the money goes into like a fund where they hold it. And if they give it up, then you get it. The obvious problem with that is you need to dispute every single copyright claim you receive. Which takes a long time when you got an automated fucking robot claiming all your intros and outros. So if they claim, say they claim a new video and it's claimed while I'm asleep and I miss 4 hours and I appeal it on the 5th hour, even if I win, I don't get those first hours back. Yeah, so I don't know anything about. I'm not American. I don't know anything about the American Constitution. Ask me about the Canadian Constitution or the Charter, and I can tell you more. I am familiar with the Qatar class boarding shuttle, yes. What's up with the Charter? Well, basically the Constitution is a document that didn't really give a ton of rights to individuals. It was more about how government is organized, so like division of powers and separation of powers and the like. The Charter is where we get most of our, expression rights and security of person, stuff like that. Oh. Unreasonable search and seizure. Yeah, I honestly enjoy Vite Ramen. Sorry you had a bad experience, but yeah, no. I do like it. If I didn't, like, I don't know. I make good money off views. Like, you guys might notice I don't run too many sponsored ads on the channel, and I get a lot of requests. But Vite Ramen and Audible, they're the two I run the most, and they're products that I actually really love. Maybe Duke. I might do that at some point. Glad you enjoyed it. Some of those videos actually did okay. How many younglings say taking a fight? I don't know. They'd still have some like martial discipline, right? How young are we talking? Like 5-year-olds? I don't know. Like 10? Oh, fuck. I thought I missed that. Should chill more? Yeah. I mean, I probably should. I probably should, yeah. I put out like 5 to 7 videos a week. I think I should have 2 sponsored videos where I've got where I've got, you know, not sponsored as in they're choosing the content, but where I've got a 30-second thing you can skip if you want, because those make a lot of money. Like, you can make, if you're a big YouTuber, bigger than me, you can make 10 grand on one of those. I don't make that much, but some people do. Some people make even more. How to get into Star Wars and hockey? Well, I'm Canadian, so the hockey one is easy, and I was born in the 90s, so Star Wars one from my dad. Oh, do I hear my child? Wait, hold on 1 second. 1 second, chat. Alright, I'm back. What's your son's favorite Star Wars media? Ooh, that's a good question, actually. What is his favorite? He likes all the trilogy finales. He likes episode 3, I'd say, is his favorite, which is, you're right, a very based opinion. Yeah, episode 3 is probably his favorite. He likes The Rise of Skywalker quite a bit as well. He's only 4, don't hold it against him. He likes The Bad Batch because he thinks the characters are fun. He's watching that that new series, like the Young Kids series, the like Jedi, I think it's just called Young Jedi Knights. It's probably a bit on the younger side for him, but he enjoys it. What else does he watch? He likes pretty much anything, honestly. It's like with kids, it's like they find something and then they like to stick to it. So like he actually had like, he goes through phases. Like he had like an Empire Strikes Back phase where that's where he wanted to watch a bunch, or that's what he wanted to watch a bunch. He's never had a New Hope phase. I don't think he likes that one as much. But what else? I'm trying to think. NHC New Hope. Yeah, exactly. He's just a Marshall Lucas stan. He only watches the scenes where she had a clear impact. I did a business degree or commerce, and then I did law school. I don't really feel comfortable elaborating on my legacy comic dislike until I reread them again. My son play any Star Wars games? Yes, Lego Star Wars. No arms or no feet? There's obviously no feet. You can get prosthetic feet, which mimic real feet much better than prosthetic hands. Canadian wildfires affecting me? I mean, they had, yeah. There was, my sister's neighborhood was evacuated. There was a big wildfire that started in her neighborhood. Yeah, I'll probably do more cross-universe verses. No, I'm fine with my name. I can't roast a ship without thinking about it. Alright, this is what, my third or my fourth time in this section. So I missed the turtle twice, and then I fell down just now. Now this. Oh, brother. TIE Fighter Vulture Droid. I really like the look of like the Vulture Droids standing around and then like jumping off into flight. TIE Fighters don't really have their version of that, so. The guy, I don't know what the guy's name is, but the guy who does Vader's voice and everything else pretty much is good. There's like one guy who does all of Vader's other voices. When James Earl Jones doesn't do it, he does a great job. Choose him. Tweak it if you want with AI. I don't think it's needed though. No, I've never played Space Engineers, but I am aware of the size of the Star Wars community on it. I used home residence in my last video. I think my two last videos I used it for both the intro and the outro. One person in history I'd like to meet. That's a really good question. Einstein. It's got to be Einstein. I don't know what I'd ask him, but in my mind, he's probably the most remarkable person who's ever existed, so. Einstein kind of just made up physics, and then we keep just like theory of relativity, and we just keep finding more answers, even to like the, you know, the more theoretical or speculative things he said that even like the mathematics end up working out. We find, you know, I think it was like the early 50s. He had that one summer where he put out like 3 papers that were all groundbreaking. He just kind of raw dogged physics. Definitely would like to do more fan films at some point, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Best Star Wars movie and best Star Wars movie. Yeah, probably. Again, objectively, Empire Strikes Back. My favorite, probably Return of the Jedi, and I definitely like Star Wars more than Halo. Someone asked if I was a lawyer on a case. I would like to be one of those old like Judge Denning type of lawyers, like the 1900s, who is like using some like really fucking random fact sequence, like a snail in a bottle of soda, to like establish case law that law school students would be reading about for 100 years for their torts class. Like, there's so many fun, well, I mean, fun for us. But like the snail and the snail in the drink, that's a real case. It was about oh, fuck, I forgot the name of the case now. Is that Stevenson? I can't remember. But it's basically about a guy who finds snail. It's a negligence case. It's about like, I forget if it's what's... Anyway, he finds a snail in his drink, and he's, like, disturbed beyond belief, and it's basically... it's not a causation one, it's... I think it actually is causation. Because he basically he basically finds a snail in his drink and has a full psychotic break. And it's like, I think that's the crumbling skull... Because in law, there's like a thin skull rule. And then, well, there's many skull rules. The crumbling skull rule. It's all about if you damage somebody and they've got a pre-existing condition, to what extent are you responsible? Oh my god, do I ever get Neckbeard's comment? Yeah, that's my whole fucking life. What fleet would you build on a budget? I mean, I think the Alliance fleet is kind of the budget fleet. Like, I think the CR-90 is probably like the most budget ship of all time. Oh my fucking god, this game is so janked. But yeah, CR-90s, lots of freighters, like souped up freighters like the Millennium Falcon, I think would be cool. I didn't see Bombastic Return to Lego Star Wars. I know, like, all the Star Wars channels are really low on views right now. Oh, fuck me. Where it's like, for one, summer's always bad and there's, like, nothing going on right now. So, yeah, I totally understand why he would return to Lego Star Wars for that reason. I think the most money I ever made on YouTube was the month Lego Star Wars came out. I think that was April of last year. I don't know why I'm going this way when I could just take the fucking... Pretty sure there's just a thing, like a jump pad, whatever. Yeah, like this doesn't even lead me to anything. I don't think, no. There's an elevator? Where? I mean, for most powerful separatist droid, there's lots because like there's like the Cortosis droid that was in that GBA game. There's like this. There's the like the I think it's called the B3, the Ultra one that's like 10 stories tall. There's like the super tank, which like is apparently indestructible. You like Dunkaroos? Oh, Timmy, what kind of question is that? Who doesn't like Dunkaroos? That's the best part about having kids. You get all these nonsense snacks back in your house. Which, I mean, I guess I could have just kept buying them. But now my wife doesn't judge me for it. I did not ever meet Judge Judy, sadly. My favorite part of Canada, the culture, probably. The friendliness. I like, I don't know, Canadiana. I don't mind the States either. It's just there's a different vibe to it. Although I've never lived there, so maybe there's not. I'm full of shit. Like that's very well possible. Turtle. I like that we try to take care of each other in Canada, but we don't always do that very well. Our politics, I think, are a lot less divisive, although things have been changing. But like our Supreme Court's never been a, point of discussion during elections. I think our government is structured a little better in some ways. We don't elect judges here, which I think is one of the biggest problems in the States. Judicial elections shouldn't happen. I had to look into your live show, man. I can't say I've never seen it. I mean, we do. Well, we don't have a queen. We've got a king now. Yeah. Like, I'm not a monarchist, that's for sure. Universal healthcare, yeah. Like, I make good money. I am a person who private healthcare would probably benefit. Why are democratically elected judges bad? Because judges are meant to protect even the unpopular people. Like, judges are meant, the constitutional documents and judges are meant to protect people from the tyranny of the majority. Like, if you've got, I won't use real races. Let's say you've got 99 green people in 99% green people in a city, in a jurisdiction, and 1% red people. Maybe it's in the best interest of the green people to fuck over that red person. Or maybe they just don't care. If you go purely off the will of the majority, only the green people are going to be protected. That's what judges are supposed to do. Enforce rule of law, enforce the Constitution. Protect people. Plus, I see these ads of fucking judges who are, running campaigns on like hard on crime and stuff, and like I don't like, yeah, I don't like that very much. Like, the judiciary is supposed to be the one role in government that's not politicized, because it's meant to be a fail-safe. Against over-politicization of the other parties. And like in Canada, yes, the Prime Minister does well, I think it's technically the Governor General, but the Prime Minister appoints the Supreme Court justices. But even, for fuck's sakes, even when we have, one Prime Minister appointing 3 or 4 judges, nobody really freaks out. Like, we just had a judge in a scandal, basically, which is very rare. I can't remember in my life another... Well, there have been a couple, but there's not a major scandal. But anyways, a judge ended up resigning. One of the Supreme Court judges ended up resigning. Most people in Canada won't know that judge's name, which is the way it should be. And there's not once any complaint or worry about it being an election issue, it being a politicized issue. The Prime Minister, there's an appointment process that he follows, and it's better that way. In my opinion. Like, there's not a objective answer to any of that, obviously, but that's my opinion, and I'm fairly steadfast in it. Yeah, I mean, the fact that the president appoints the judge isn't necessarily the problem. Why is there a smaller heart there? Like, that itself isn't a problem. It's that it's a completely partisan process where it's like, oh, this election is so important because it's, going to be a liberal or conservative judge, and then that basically, like, the best example of this, and I'm not going to get political because it's not really what we do here, but like the best example of this is like gun rights, abortion. Like, those are ultimately decided and limited or not limited based on who won an election, sometimes 20, 30 years ago, and who got the more judges stuffed into the court. When, like, the whole point is these rules in the Constitution, they're in the Constitution because they're meant to be above the daily politics of, like, there are ideas that are so important, they're meant to be above the daily politics of the state. But ultimately, they're still being decided by elections, which completely misses the point. Because the person in charge appoints them, but they go through a process. Usually, like in Canada, there's like the Supreme Court. I forget what the organization's name, but there is a committee, basically, a non-partisan committee that comes together, people from all walks of life. Well, not all walks of life, lawyers and judges and legal scholars from across the political spectrum, and they choose whoever's the most experienced. And judges remain completely non-partisan. Like in Canada, you don't have judges endorsing prime ministers or going to political events or, which I guess usually doesn't happen in the States too, but judges are, like, everyone knows. Anyway. Well, if the Constitution's flawed, then, like, hopefully there's case law that can fix it, but, like, if it's the Constitution, it's meant to be important enough that it's not easily changed. World flat, obviously. Had an In-N-Out burger? Yeah, I have. I like Shake Shack for, like, my American burger fast food places. To me, Shake Shack I think is the best one. I don't know if that's controversial or not. That's how I feel, damn it. Oh, it almost happened again. Did you see that? There's a place in PEI that has... I forget the name of it. That's really renowned for its lobster roll. We've got Five Guys in Halifax. Five Guys doesn't do it for me. It's too much meat. Too much food. I actually had a lobster roll yesterday for the first time in probably a decade and a half. I've been playing Bolt Gun, which is a really fun game. A little repetitive, but very fun. It's a Warhammer game. Five Guys fries are good, but honestly, like, I don't know. I'm someone who likes. I prefer like a thin burger, I think. I agree, lobster is overrated. Like, I had the lobster roll, and the best part of it was the roll was delicious. Because, like, lobster, even the best lobster, and where I live, you can buy lobster the day it's caught from a dude on the side of the road in a truck. It's always a little, like, it doesn't have that much flavor, if we're being honest. Rink burgers, yeah. Anything in a rink is good. Y'all about to learn the secret today. If I can remember how to get up here. I had it from Timmy, I had it from Pilots. I don't know if you've ever been there. It was not bad. It's like $25 though, which is, I don't know, it felt like a lot. Alright. So there's a way we can climb up this tree. And there's a big skip there, but I don't know if I'm able to get it. I might need to jump back down and take that thing again. Alright, we're gonna jump back down. We're gonna aim again. Yeah, it's in Woodside. It's by the ferry terminal, Woodside. I don't know, to be fair, like, lobster rolls are pretty expensive in a lot of places. How did I get up this? There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Alright, let's try again. There we go. Oh, why did this get so hard? I was getting this every... Outlandish Canadian food that us plebs have probably never tried. Probably like salt meat is like a Newfoundland one where it's just really salty meat. But it's really good. I don't know, like in Halifax the big thing is Donairs, which is like a lamb type. It's like, it's so good. Poutine is like obviously the big one. There's moose, which I don't know if that's really Canadian. Beaver tails are pretty Canadian. They're obviously not actually beaver tails. They're like a cinnamon bun type of thing. They're really good. Have I ever had Vegemite? Yes. One of my good friends growing up was Australian, so yes. It's not good. Oh, poutine is really good. If you don't like that, you can say poutine. It's cheese. It's like rubbery cheese curds on French fries with gravy. It's so fucking good. And then you can, like, that's like standard poutine, which is like pretty common, but obviously you can have it with like, there's a place in Halifax called Pizza Corner, and it's like where all the drunk people go after drinking downtown. There's like, it's called Pizza Corner because, oh fuck, I forgot these are actually real, because there's 4 pizza shops together, and well, there was at one point, but now there's like poutine places and stuff as well. But one of the poutine places used to have one called Fuck Off. Not called Fuck Off. It was called the Slaughterhouse. So it was regular poutine, fries, cheese, and gravy. Then with like literally fucking every kind of meat you could possibly eat. And like you'd eat that drunk, and then the next day you'd shit your brains out. But it was so good.
It has been said that the greatest fear in life, the one that gives rise to
I'll put my headphones on because I've only been to this far once. Zach, did you have a donair while you were here? If so, from where? Because donair is one of those things where so like donair is just like it's kind of like a gyro. I like it more, but they throw in everything. Donair egg rolls, donair pizza.
When I was born,
That honestly,
my
Marmar, that
grandmother said I
kind of
would
sounds like a
survive.
donair.
When I was 1 year old, my grandmother was dragged away by a whale on the old pier.
I've never had Yorkshire pudding, no. Oh, did you like it, Zach? I can't remember. You did, right? You're usually better off getting it from like a dedicated pizza place, but... yeah. I think it's meant to be like the lighthouse. Like the Tower of Babel. Or Babel. Or the Walls of Babel. I don't know. Reminds me of the one of the temples from the new Zelda game. Man, I ate so much food that first night we went out. Those what's it called? Taquitos. Oh man, those are phenomenal.
The night is dark before the dawn. Eyes are afraid, hands are doing.
Hands are doing. Where were you when hands are doing? Gyro? That's what I thought. But I was like, oh shit. Okay. That could have been really bad. I saw Markiplier's doing the that movie. I've never played the game. I like that kind of horror though, so I should. So this is the farthest I've been. So like Halifax was close to where that that sub was from. They might have actually launched from Halifax. I'm not sure, though. I think it was Newfoundland they launched from. But a lot of the Titanic, I was gonna say survivors. No, a lot of the Titanic victims were buried in Halifax. I think most of them actually.
Many things were terrifying at night and became a laughing matter when daylight came.
Okay, I feel kind of sketched out by this. I feel like one of these isn't real. Anybody know the trick to this? I feel like there is one. I don't want to fall. So jump on the coin. The center platform is fake. Is the pizza real? That's so fucking dumb, dude. That is so dumb. Well, I don't know. Like, that kills all fucking interest I have in the game. When I fall to no fault of my own. I'm going down this far. Land on the platform. Oh, but come on. Thanks for the help, chat, you fuckers. It's not even letting me move. It's not even letting me move. I'm done. That's actually so fucking lame. All right, chat. Good night.